Gratitude is the best attitude because it makes you magnetic, right? It helps you increase your ability to manifest more of what you want and less of what you don't want in life and also in business. Saying thank you is honorable, beautiful, humble, respectful, but it's attractive. It brings more good into your life because you are giving thanks. You give thanks, you get more things to be thankful about. Let's talk about it. I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield. This is the third episode in a 5-episode coverage and meditation of the 9th chapter of Outwitting the Devil, by the way. We're doing a chapter by chapter study over months. This is the sequel to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Secrets to Freedom and Success, it says, and it's about a conversation going on between the angel and the devil on our shoulder, asking the devil, how do you stop me and how can I get you to stop stopping me? Essentially is what this book is about, how to get out of your own way, right? Take the power away from the devil on your shoulder and really give it to the angel, give it to the strength, the light, the best part of yourself so that you can really achieve freedom and success. This book is amazing. I highly recommend it if you tend to get in your own way. And I recommend this also to all my clients because I'm the world's first business Reiki master, which means I help impact-driven entrepreneurs, leaders, and professionals who are highly sensitive and energetically sensitive individuals really ground and clear themselves in mind, body, and business so they can increase their income and impact out in the world. If that speaks to you, make sure you hit that like button, share it on your favorite social media platform, and subscribe so you get the notifications first every single time. Now, again, this is the 3rd out of 5 episodes on chapter 9 because after reading the 9th chapter of Outwitting the Devil, I had a realization of how much this chapter on education and religion, is what it's called in the book, applies to the 5 Reiki principles. And we've already been through the first 2 before this episode. So if you haven't, go back on my on my YouTube, watch the previous episode that you have an idea of the first 2 principles of Reiki, which are: just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not worry, right? So, kyo dake wa okoru na. Kyo dake wa shinpai su na. So, in Japanese, right? Reiki is Japanese methodology and philosophy for life and healing. And so, today, we're looking at how the 3rd Reiki principle comes out in the 9th chapter. And this is totally like a connection that I'm seeing it between the 5 Reiki principles, or the Gokai, as they're called in Japanese, and the 9th chapter of Outwitting the Devil. This overlap just really came out for me. And so the 3rd Reiki principle that we're looking at is Kyo dake wa kansha shite. So just for today, be grateful. Say thank you. Give honor to those that come before you, right? Be honorable, essentially, is the 3rd Reiki principle. Now, the Gokai, when you study Reiki, are meant to be chanted every day, right? It's your morning mantra to bring that in. And one of these 5 pieces of the mantra is about being grateful and gratitude. When we have a grateful heart and we say thank you, or we look for things to be grateful for and to give thanks for, or we look for people to ensure that we are saying thank you, right? Never leaving a space without expressing gratitude. What that does isn't just makes you look humble and nice as a person. It also builds your strength, your magnetism, and even your ability to be decisive. Stick with me for this, okay? So if you are someone who struggles with indecision, right? I get a lot of people who come and sit on the sofa here in my office to talk about their life and career, and they're like, I just don't know what direction to go into, or I'm so frustrated, I don't know what my life purpose is, right? Or I don't know what my brand colors should be, or all of that. Like, you're stuck with needing to make pivotal decisions in your career, right? Or you could have that in your life. I don't know if I should continue with this relationship, or I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where to move next. If you're struggling with being decisive, right? You're feeling indecisive and you have options overwhelmed, it's because you actually are not making the information that you've acquired relevant to you. Let me break this down. We all nowadays suffer from some extent of information and options overload. Information overload, options overwhelm. The internet, everything is at the tips of our fingers. There's so many things that we can learn about life, ourselves, our industry, how things should be done, how it shouldn't be done. Top 10 secrets, 5 ways to a turnaround, blah, 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 blah. There's so much information out there that when you're trying to make sense of yourself and new life, you turn into an information sponge. But what can happen is that sponging up all of this information can overload and cause your unique point of view to be dispersed and dispelled. It can cause you to become less and less focused, being overwhelmed of all of what's going on, right? All of the news, hearing everything, all of everyone's stories, seeing everything can overwhelm you. And if you find yourself scrolling through Snapchat or Instagram, seeing everybody else's smiling faces and everybody else's amazing ideal life and magical days, you can end up feeling like you suck. It's like, wow, they look great. I must suck. Wow, they're doing so well in their business. Mine must be awful. So in that state of looking down on yourself, taking in all of this information, scrolling, taking more and more in, what happens is you stop seeing yourself and you focus on what other people are saying is good, on what other people are saying is success, on what other people are saying they want, or they wanted and they want more of. And so when you see what other people care about, you end up caring about what other people care about and not knowing what you care about. You end up thinking, you hypnotize or brainwash yourself into thinking that what other people care about is what you care about. So when it comes time to be yourself, you're lost. You've lost your own plot, not the plot. You lost your plot. You're on your hero's journey, not theirs. And so how do we, when we've lost our plot line, our unique storyline, when we can't really see where we're going and we think we're crappy because, okay, like we are not like other people, right? I'm not like so-and-so over there. I'm not her weight. I'm not, I don't have that many kids. I don't make the same amount of money as them over there, right? you can start to judge, right, and pick at yourself. The comparison monster falls apart. How do we get out of that? The way that we get out of that is through gratitude. From the closest out, right? You start with the things that are the most relevant to you, and then you move outward when we are giving thanks. If we're going to do it in a therapeutic and strengthening way, it's a muscle. It's a muscle. You got to start lifting gratitude so that you can start lifting yourself up, your spirits up, right? How do you raise your own vibration? Well, you've got to focus on what you are grateful for and give thanks for what you have, not what they have over there, for what you have, not what they think you should be grateful for. No, what you are grateful for. Remember last week when we were looking at Shinpai Suna, worry is a prayer for what we don't want. And so the more that we pray for what we don't want, the more that we get what we don't want. And when we stop doing prayer for what we don't want, we end up doing prayer for what we do want, right? Flip it. Flip it. So in this instance, now, this is the next step past that, right? You are able, when you are able to flip praying for what you don't want to expecting what you do want, what happens there is you become very resourceful and you can bring resources clean out of nowhere. So now that you have the ability to do that, now that you are not worrying, but instead you are doing what? You're being grateful. We're generating these resources literally clean out of thin air, and we are declaring them good. Even in Genesis, when God created heaven and earth, he made it a point at the end of each day to say, oh, that was good. Why? Why declare the thing, anything good? Because, I'll answer, right? So why you would want to declare things good is to make them yours. It declares to you, haha, this is my point of view. This is my favorite color. That's a good color. I like that. Who likes that? I like it. Even if you don't like it, I like it. The minute you know what is good, you also know what's not good. Similarly with worry, the minute you know what you don't want is the minute you know what you do want. It gives you the ability to turn things around. And when you declare what's good, you give thanks for it. And the more you give thanks for it, the more and more and more it starts magnetizing to you. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is the secret to manifestation, is gratitude, because it helps you declare what's relevant to you and your needs, your preferences, your desires, what you are working towards, what's relevant to your story, okay, is being grateful. Being grateful, giving thanks, gratitude is the most attractive attitude because it makes your resources gathered relevant. All of that information that you've been taking in that's overwhelming you is overwhelming you simply because you haven't decided, well, what's good for me to know? What's important for me to know? What is me? What about my life is going on? What's good for me? Looking in the mirror, asking, so what's good? Tell me. What's good? Can you tell yourself what's good, what's going on with you? It will make your life from overwhelmed to grounded like that. It's magic. And at this point, On the note of it being magic, it's not just magic. Actually, it's science. And that's where we're coming to Outwitting the Devil. This is the science of magnetism. This is the science of attraction, is actually practicing gratitude. Let's read. So Napoleon, again, he's talking to the devil on his shoulder. Napoleon says, is your theory of definiteness, so that's being decisive, is your theory of definiteness in harmony with the philosophy of men of science? The devil on his shoulder responds, definiteness is the major difference between a scientist and a drifter. Through the principle of definiteness of purpose and plan, the scientist forces nature to hand over her most profound secrets. It was through this principle that Edison uncovered the secret of the talking machine, the incandescent electric light, and scores of other benefits for mankind. Napoleon Hill responds, then I understand that definiteness is the first requisite for success in all earthly undertakings. Is that right? The devil on his shoulder says, exactly. Anything which teaches people to examine facts and coordinate them into definite plans through accurate thinking is hard on my profession, right, as a devil. If this thirst for definite knowledge now spreading over the world keeps up, my business will be shot to pieces within the next few centuries. Pause. Why are we reading about definiteness? Because this applies to gratitude. When you are grateful for something, you are definitely choosing that thing as good. The more you become definite about what is good in your life, the more decisive you become, the more anti-fragile you become, the more focused and driven you become. You make the devil scared, as he's saying. So every time I'm talking about definiteness, listen for gratitude, right? Declaring what is good. You are making a choice of this thing is definitely good. Thank you for it. Thank you, God. Thank you, person. Thank you, earth. Thank you, me, right? Thank you, you. Giving thanks for the thing definitely declares it as good and relevant to you, and it becomes yours. Unpause. If this thirst for definite knowledge now spreading over the world keeps up, my business will be shot to pieces within the next few centuries. I, the devil, thrive on ignorance, superstition, intolerance, and fear, but I cannot stand up under definite knowledge properly organized into definite plans in the minds of people who think for themselves. Napoleon asks, why don't you take over omnipotence, right? He's referring to God, and manage the whole works in your own way. The devil on his shoulder says, you might as well ask why the negative portion of the electron doesn't overtake the positive portion and run the entire works. The answer is that both the positive and the negative charges of energy are necessary to the existence of the electron. One is balanced equally against the other, stalemated, as it were. So it is with what you call omnipotence and I. We represent the positive and the negative forces in the entire system of universes, and we are equally balanced one against the other. If this power of balance were shifted to the slightest degree, the whole system of universes would become quickly reduced to a mass of inert matter. Now you know why I cannot take over the whole show and run it my way. Napoleon says, well, if what you say is true, you have exactly the same power as omnipotence? Is that true? The devil on his shoulder, of course, says that is correct. My opposition, you call it omnipotence, expresses itself through the forces which you call good, the positive forces of nature. I express myself through the forces of what you call bad, the negative forces. Both good and bad are coincidental with existence. One is as important as the other. Napoleon says, then the doctrine of predestination is sound. People are born to success or failure, misery or happiness, to be good or bad, and they have nothing to do with this, nor can they modify their natures. Is that your claim? The devil on his shoulder says this. Emphatically not. Watch this. Every human being has a wide range of choice in both his thoughts and deeds. Every human being can use his brain for the reception and the expression of positive thoughts, or he can use it for the expression of negative thoughts. His choice is in this important matter, shapes his entire life. And this is where gratitude comes in. Gratitude is the most attractive attitude because this is you choosing to focus on what's good versus what's bad, right? You are choosing to focus on the good more so than the bad. You are declaring this is good and this is good and this is good and this is good. The more you choose to be thankful for things, the more you build that gratitude muscle that is being decisive. Gratitude is the cure for indecision, therefore. Struggle with indecision? You need to be more grateful. You need to sit down and list 50 things that you're grateful for. 50 things, at least. What's good? What would you declare is good in your life, is good about this situation? This is something that can bring you back from the brink of destruction. Self-destruction. You know what I'm talking about. If you just keep finding things to say thank you about, you will decide to stick around a little bit longer because that list is actually infinite. Build your gratitude muscle. You got to build it. You can't, if you don't flex it, if you don't work it, it won't work, right? You got to be in it to win it, building that gratitude muscle. With that, the card of the week is the Six of Earth, right? When we're talking about Ganchaste, which the third Reiki principle, be grateful, give thanks, give honor, right? Be honorable. When we're talking about giving thanks and giving honor to the things that are good to us, when we're talking about giving thanks and then being an honorable person, right? That isn't just inside themselves, but is strong enough to step outside and be decisive and spread that love far and wide. When we do that, that activates the energy of the Six of Earth. Six means expansion. Earth means resource. That means things grow. Gratitude is miracle grow. If you just go back and start thanking the people that you've worked with, you're going to see things get better at work. When you just go back and thank your clients, you will get more of them. When you just go back and start thanking your partner, right, your romantic partner, you're going to get so much love back. When you go and you start thanking your children and telling them how much they mean to you, you're going to get more love, more respect, more honor by being honorable. This is an expansion of resource. It says gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. Kyo dake wa, just for today, if you were to be more grateful. This week, you're going to see miracles start to open up because you're leading with an attitude of gratitude. That's what's going to cause your earth, your wealth to expand. Wealth is not just money, right? It's pentacles in the traditional tarot. This is the angel tarot. But it's also time, money, energy, space, and relationships. An expansion of wealth and abundance overall comes from an attitude of gratitude. So with that being said, we can talk about Kyo dake wa, just for today, be grateful over and over and over again. We can intellectualize about it, but sometimes we need to get it in our body with an exercise. That's why I created strategic meditation. When you go to my membership subscription called the Be Visionary Movement at bevisionarymovement.com, B-E, by the way, you spell out the whole word. When you go to bevisionarymovement.com, you're going to be able to access the strategic meditation of the day that really illustrates this in a beautiful way. So when you log in there, you're going to go to the top, the search bar, and search Divine Lotus Flower Spirits. Type that in at the top, Divine Lotus Flower Spirits. It's 19 minutes per day, right? It's the meditation tracker of the month. And the reason why we're going to do a lotus meditation is because out of the mud emerges the lotus, right? And so as you go into that 19-minute strategic meditation, you're going to take this concept and breathe it down into your soul of out of all of the mud of my life, newness and strength and beauty emerge, right? This beauty of gratitude for what I have, that even in the mud, I am surrounded in tremendous resource. Breathe that into your body, get it down in your soul, get it down into every single sacred cell of your energy field. Now, if you come to the end of this video and you have more questions, or you would like to come for your own reading or have it online, make sure you reach out to me, team at victoriawhitfield.com, to request a session, or you can text me 732-903-8573. I'm happy to be able to see what's in the cards for you in life and business, or have you come in person so that I can ground and clear your energy and really look through what Spirit has for the year ahead for you. With that, thank you for being with me. Hit the share button. If you've made it this far, obviously you've enjoyed this episode, and comment below. What are you grateful for? What are you declaring good? You know, they say when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? Rather than just be sour, right? What are you declaring good? Type in the comments below and put some lemon emojis, right, of what lemonade you are making out of your life. Mwah. Big hugs and love. Remember, you do not have to lose your glow as you grow in life and business. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.